right, this episode of Campfire Conversations, we want to focus on just the topic of females within our industry. We want to focus on what drives decisions for females, maybe the lack thereof, and so I gathered this ensemble here this morning to just focus on that topic. So out of the gates, all three of you, I'll start with you, Rylie. What prompted you out of high school or in high school to really focus on maybe picking the engineering discipline?
So it's funny because I didn't actually choose to study engineering in college right out of high school. We would have people from like local businesses like Micron or Simplot or whatever come to some of our AP classes or government classes and talk to us about what engineering was. And I always just kind of tuned them out, just thinking like, oh, I don't really want to work on cars. Like I had no idea what engineering was. And so out of the gates, I went to college to study natural resources. And then midway through my first semester, I was thinking to myself, I was like, this is not challenging enough for me. I feel like I could do something that suits my strengths a little bit better. And so I talked to one of my really good friends who is in civil engineering, and she was like, I think you would really, really like this. I think you should give it a shot. And at this point, I was just looking to try something new and more challenging, like I said. And so I go, all right, I'll do it. And sure enough, I did it and absolutely loved it. And so I still graduated in 4 years. So pretty excited about that. But
so it'd be fair to say that you kind of just fell into it then?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I would say that. I think it stemmed from a love for STEM, math specifically, but yeah.
What about you, Bethany? What got you into the engineering field?
I have always been interested in buildings and seeing them be constructed around town, the different look that are out there. And I actually took an architecture class in high school, and I wasn't enjoying it. So I was talking to the teacher and kind of talking about how I was frustrated, and he was listening to me, and he was like, you don't want to be an architect, you want to be an engineer.
That was a good comment.
So I did some research, and I was like, oh, he's totally right. I want to be a structural engineer. And from my junior year of high school, I've been moving that direction.
That's awesome. What about you, Carmen? How did you fall into the whole engineering discipline?
Yeah, so it was kind of similar to both Rylie and Bethany. I kind of fell into it by my love of architecture. I've always been kind of like a building nerd, just like I love just kind of the structural aspect and just the aesthetics of buildings. And in high school, I took an introductory to engineering course, and there was like a list of all the different types of engineering. I didn't even know what engineering was, and I just read each description, and I saw civil engineering, and that was the only one that like had buildings involved with it. So that's kind of how I found.
Coming out of high school, or just even in your experience when you were at the college level, like what do you guys feel like is maybe a deterrent, or is it lack of knowledge, lack of information, or why do you think more females don't go within our industries?
I don't know. I feel like it's the stereotype where engineers are. I mean, I kind of already touched on this, but when I was in high school, like going into like having the choice of studying engineering or anything else, I thought it was mechanics, and in my head, like mechanics are always males. They're not always males, but like I said, just a stereotype. And so I feel like a lot of women that might have a small interest in any engineering field might just see that and they're like, oh, I don't want to be in all these classes with males. And I mean, it's true. Like I was probably, I'm sure you guys were the same way, but in college courses, there were probably 15% females and the rest were males. And so like even knowing that and also having the stereotype mixed together, I feel like it's just not an attractive choice for females. And so they just choose to go with something else that.
With a different discipline?
Yeah, I think to both of those points, at least for me, going through high school, even middle school and university, there was not a lot of female role models and women of leadership, especially in STEM. And I think that can also be kind of discouraging when you like go to class and you don't see many people that look like you. It can even feel kind of isolating. So I think that's another thing that can be a little discouraging, and you kind of constantly have to prove yourself and have that feeling of the imposter syndrome of kind of forcing yourself to stand out because you're kind of the only one that looks like you in a class full of people. So.
Did any of you, I mean, you touched on this a little bit, but just really have a mentor or anything like that that maybe steered you towards, or would you say that you kind of fell into it as well?
Yeah, I didn't have really a female mentor, but my older cousin is kind of in the AEC industry, and he really instilled in me to kind of take that one only woman in the class and kind of embrace that and encouraged me.
What do you guys feel like as an industry, the whole AEC industry, that we could be doing better to promote more of the opportunities within our fields for females?
I think just, you're right, they need to be educated, and in this day and age the way to do that is what we're doing, and we're posting videos on social media and pictures and highlighting cool projects and just getting it out there. This is what we do. Look how cool this is.
This is how it's played out.
Yeah. It's not just years and years of math courses.
I think just having that encouragement for young females just starting out in school and having that support system, and really having women and men kind of be educated and support and encourage women to go into the field, and really just encourage it a lot.
There are programs out there, Tamarack Grove's involved in one of them called ACE, and it's really a mentorship for professionals within the industry that are mentoring the high school level age kids. I think mentorship's huge in the game of life, and in terms of seeds that we could plant, whether it's in junior high or even middle school or certainly high school, that we just need to be better at doing that as an industry. If there were a high school student or a female out there right now kind of sitting there wondering what to do with their career, based on your experience of what you went through, what would you tell them?
Reaching out to any sort of company or industry or firm or mentor or anyone that might be in the direction that they're even slightly interested in, and being like, hey, can I come shadow you for an hour? Or like if they're going up to school, just really reaching out to like the ambassador programs for each major or college, really talking to your advisor and just asking questions. Really, like the worst thing that can happen is someone will say no and you try again, but you never know what'll happen if you get that opportunity that you ask for. Like your whole mindset might change, or a light bulb might go off here, and I don't know, just ask questions and try.
I would say just be bold and purposeful, and if it may be intimidating, and if it is, it's just, I think, kind of getting past that, ignoring that, and just really doing what you are good at, or what you love. And I think just embracing that, and really just ignoring all of the outside and focus on yourself.
And what do you guys feel like as a female? How would you answer that perspective-wise? Like, what do you bring to the table?
I think just a level of diversity in any kind of team situation that we have in engineering is, and problem solving in general. It's good to have different perspectives and kind of multi-dimensional conversations. And I think that's what diversity brings, and having different people in a team that are different, have different backgrounds, whether it's they're women or not, having that that kind of level of different diverse perspectives is really important to getting like a really in-depth solution to any kind of problem.
I feel like it's more encouraging the women that want to do it and are too scared or too nervous, or might feel overpowered by all the male energy that is in the industry, more than like needing females in the industry. It's just encouraging people to do what they want to do and do it boldly, like Carmen said.
Well, not only boldly, but confidently.
Yeah.
I think we discussed a lot of the innuendos of maybe being scared, the stereotypes. It's a male-driven industry, but like all that is hogwash, right? I mean, everyone has equal opportunity to come in and not only prove yourself, but just, I mean, it's
Show your skill.
Show your skills, the passion behind that, what comes with that, and the personality, the people skills, all that in terms of what we get to do day in and day out here. But to just definitely, you know, move forward confidently with the opportunity. Well, do you guys have anything else to add before we close this conversation out? Last few nuggets? Anything? No? Tell us a joke, Rylie. Come on. Give us a good engineer's joke.
Oh, I don't know if I have an engineering joke.
Any joke for that.
I was gonna say, what kind of apples grow on trees?
I give up.
All of them.
Oh, nice. That's good. That's good. Well, thank you for just being part of this conversation, and again, just value your guys' input on this topic. And our whole goal with this is that maybe someone would listen to this and just have an interest in engineering, architecture, construction. So thank you very much for being part of this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
thanks, Brian.